Hi zebra friends, I hope you're having a great day. Today I wanted to make bread with you guys. So the recipe that I have is 7 steps. It requires 1 cup of warm water. I'm looking here because I have the list. It requires a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons yeast, a 1/3 cup of canola oil, 1 egg, 1½ teaspoons of salt, and 3 or 3½ cups of flour. And that's it. So let's get started. First, when we're making bread, and for this particular type of bread, we need to let the yeast bloom. So first I have a cup of warm water. This is what's going to help the yeast bloom. So the yeast, you need to check if it's fresh. And that's really what it means, is letting the yeast bloom, is checking that it's fresh, getting the yeast ready to mix in with all the other ingredients. So I have that, and then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar. Now we're going to mix it in. So like we talked about in our bubble art video, I believe, or our bubble inside of a bubble experiment, one of the bubbles, we talked about how warm water helps mix everything in. So that's why warm water is really helpful here. So I have my yeast. I know this is kind of a rare commodity nowadays. So we're going to put 2 tablespoons. Now we're going to mix it in. Now we're going to let it sit for 5 minutes to let all the yeast bloom. Alrighty, so now that our yeast is done blooming, we are going to add in the other ingredients. So we're going to add the 1/3 cup of canola oil. Now we're going to add 1 egg. My recommendation for this one is to have an adult help you and to make sure that your hands are clean before and after you crack the egg. We're going to add our salt, which is 1½ teaspoons. Make sure teaspoons, not tablespoons. I made that mistake a week ago when I was making pancakes and they turned out not so good. So there we go, 1½ teaspoons of salt. And then we add our flour. Now it says 3 to 3½ cups. When I did this recipe on my own time, I found that about 3 cups was just right. So I actually like to do a mix, but you could do it either way. You could do 3 cups of whole wheat, 3 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour, or a mix of both. So 3 cups divided by 2, or in half, is 1½ So I'm going to be doing 1½ cups of whole wheat flour. This is my whole wheat flour here. And then I'm going to do 1½ cups of the unbleached all-purpose flour. So the reason we had to wait for the yeast to bloom is because what we have here is called active dry yeast. And when I looked that up, I found that that active dry yeast was made for the US Army back when we had what's called World War II. So basically the purpose of our active dry yeast is to be able to stay in our cabinets for a long time. So that means they have to put it in kind of like a sleeping state. So really the yeast is sleeping. It's a bacteria, so it can be asleep or it can be awake. And it's actually, fun fact, it's related to mushrooms. So what we need to do in order to wake it up is to add our warm water and our sugar, because bacteria like to eat sugar. Now I have my 1½ cups of whole wheat, so I'm going to move on to the unbleached all-purpose. And when you are watching the video, the time lapse of the yeast blooming, you probably saw that more bubbles were formed, that the foam in the middle got bigger. And what that is that CO2 bubbles. So what happens is our yeast that we have, our active dry yeast, that's usually the most common one that you'll find in homes or in the store. When it has the sugar and water, it wakes up and it eats the sugar and it gives off what's called CO2. And when we breathe in oxygen, but when we exhale, what comes out of our mouth is also CO2, carbon dioxide. So now what we're going to do, and I think this is the fun part, is we are going to knead our dough. So I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands, and then I'll show you what kneading the dough is going to look like. So I like to start by just mixing it with my spoon, getting all those ingredients in there, making sure the egg is nice and mixed in. So once it's all mixed in like that, go ahead, just dump it. You can keep it in your bowl, or if you have a flat surface to kind of roll it and knead it, you can do that too. It's really up to you and what you want to do. You're just gonna squish and flip and press. Squish and flip and press. And maybe you'll flatten it and flip it if you'd like to do that. My recommendation, because this dough has a raw egg, is not to try it until after it's been in the oven. Because it has raw egg, it could hurt your stomachs. It might not taste too good. So my recommendation is wait until after it's taken out of the oven to give it a try. You want to knead it until it no longer sticks to your fingers like that. Until it's kind of sticky, but nothing sticks to your fingers. You can see it's still kind of sticking on my fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and speed it up and show you the finished result. So as you can see, my bread is kneaded. If I touch it, it's very spongy. And it doesn't really stick to my finger. So what I wound up doing was I added some flour to the board. It helps kind of prevent it from sticking too much to the board and from sticking too much to your fingers. So then we are going to grab our bowl that we used before. You can clean it off or you can keep flour on it. Either way, I'm sure is fine. I like to get a non-stick spray. Spray the bowl. So now it has oil. And then what you're going to do from there, I'm going to tilt this up so you can see. What I'm going to do from there is I'm going to grab my dough. I'm going to put it in there. And then I'm going to let it set. And what you need to do to let it rise is you'll just set it down. You can put it in a dark area or just an area that doesn't have a ton of light and just drape a towel over it. Some people say saran wrap, which I'm sure is fine. I just like being able to reuse a towel. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take this off, and you can see our loaf is much bigger. It's very fluffy. So like we talked about earlier, how yeast creates CO2. The yeast is mixed in with the flour and all the other ingredients, so as it continues to eat up the sugar that's inside, it's going to keep releasing CO2. So that's why it's so bubbly. So to show you how many air pockets are in here, I'm actually going to give it a good puff. And you can see my handprint, but also as I move it, it's going to start to deflate and go back to that original size. Maybe you can even hear some of the air pockets popping. So what I'm going to do is I am now going to take the pans that I want to use. So I want to use a round pan, and I want to use kind of a loaf pan, one of each. So I like to just kind of tear this in half. You can cut it, but tearing is fine. And I'm going to start kneading it into the shape I want. So I'm going to put that in there. Oh, before I forget and before I let this set, get your baking spray. Now you can set it in. Now what you're gonna do with these is you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna cover it again and wait for another 15-20 minutes. The longer you wait, the bigger it becomes. And if you want a bigger loaf, a fluffier loaf, then you're gonna go ahead and leave it in for longer. Alrighty friends, so let's go ahead and take this off. And now we have our 2 loaves. I'm gonna bring it over here to my oven. Let's set this down right here. Grab the other one. Now what we're gonna do, friends, I'm gonna set this right here, is we are gonna set our oven to 400 degrees. We're gonna press start, and then we are just gonna put them straight in during that preheat. Whoop, there we go. Grab the other one. And it recommends that we wait or let it stay in there after the preheat turns off and it's just regular for about 30 to 40 minutes. So once that preheat turns off, I'm gonna set the timer for probably about 35 and we'll see how that goes. So I will come back and I'll show you guys the finished product. Alrighty friends, this is the final result. You can see the top is really brown. It should have an internal temperature of about 200. This, as you can see, a little bit more than like half is taken off. Got a little excited. Already had a couple slices, but this bread is really good. I like to add it with I like to add sugar and cinnamon to it and some butter as like a little sweet treat. Or you could just add your jam on it. That's what my husband does. He'll put some jam on there. And it's a really good, yummy bread. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day. Bye, zebra friends!